So we got a 2016 Keystone Montana. Customer brought it in, was concerned about the frame flex on his unit. So we take the bulkhead off. We take the front wall cage off, which is that wall right there, that cage. And we measure from this point on the frame to either this point or this point, whichever you want. Unloaded, meaning no weight on it. Measure that. Put weight on it, measure it again. We had a 1/2 inch of movement. I found a broken seal plate right there. And then he had a big gap in his floor in his bedroom, meaning where the two halves of the bedroom and the front deck come together. So in here, unfortunately I gotta fix the slide room now because it doesn't work right. There's a huge gap between this floor and that floor, like a 1/2 inch. And a big gap against the wall. So, in the compartment, well, you can see the old mark. That's where the floor used to be. And I lifted this whole floor up. I reattached it. This one gets attached from the front in this compartment. He said all these screws had worked loose at one point, so he changed them out. So I put bigger ones in it, all the way across that front beam that ties into that wall in the front. And then I stuffed these tubes with 2x4s. This one came from the factory like that, but I jammed that one and I jammed that one on both sides. Took the 4-inch screws out and the 3-inch screws and put 4-inch screws in. All the way across there. That's going from that to that on both sides. And one last thing I gotta do is fix this broken cage right here. Gonna weld that up. Put a skirt metal back on. I've already remeasured it. We're down to 5/16, measuring from that point to that point on both sides. 5/16 of an inch of movement, and I believe they say that's acceptable. So now we're gonna put the whole thing back together and get this couple back on the road. They're in town. Their family member had their first grandbaby, so we'll get them out of here.